Imagine a world where conversations weren't just between humans, where a television series managed to bridge the gap between the ordinary and the extraordinary, leaving an indelible hoofprint on our memories. Cast your thoughts back to that peculiar year, 1961, when television screens flickered to life with the curious tale of Mr. Ed. But this wasn't your run-of-the-mill show. It was a comedy that trotted along the border of reality and the whimsical. As the show's jingle played through the airwaves, you might have found yourself chuckling at the dynamic duo of Wilbur Post and Mr. Ed, a horse with an uncanny ability to speak and a knack for getting his human companion into all sorts of delightful predicaments. From the hay-filled corners of a barn emerged a bond that was as unlikely as it was heartwarming. It's the kind of bond that made you think twice about the depth of connection possible between species, leaving you with a twinkle of wonder in your eyes. Picture those evenings spent gathered around the TV set, the laughter that echoed in the room as Mr. Ed's antics unfolded. His clever wordplay and witty retorts turned every episode into a carnival of amusement. And oh, the moments when Wilbur found himself in tight spots, trying to conceal Ed's linguistic talents from the world, only to be left with a string of comedic mishaps that defied equine logic. But beyond the laughter, Mr. Ed wasn't just a show. It was a reminder that friendship and camaraderie could be found in the most unexpected places. It's a memory that urges us to reflect on our own bonds, and perhaps prompts us to wonder, if only for a moment, what conversations we might have with our four-legged companions if they were suddenly gifted with human speech. And now, let's dig into some intriguing tidbits about the show that might just tickle your curiosity. Did you know that the real Mr. Ed was a Palomino horse named Bamboo Harvester? Or that his distinctive voice was created using a combination of voice actors and special effects? These snippets of trivia weave an even richer tapestry around a show that already stood out for its uniqueness. So, as we peel back the layers of time, let's relish in the nostalgia of Mr. Ed, that whimsical concoction that trotted its way into our hearts and minds, urging us to embrace the extraordinary even in the ordinary. And who knows, perhaps the next time you gaze into the eyes of a horse, you'll wonder what tales they might have to share. Unlikely harmony, when a composer's demo becomes a classic theme in the annals of television history. Few theme tunes are as recognizable as that of the 1961 TV series Mr. Ed. While the show itself featured the comedic escapades of Wilbur Post and his talking equine companion, a lesser-known story lies behind its iconic opening melody. Jay Livingston, a maestro of catchy tunes, initially recorded the theme as a mere demo. His plan: to have a professional crooner lend their vocals before the show's launch. However, fate had other ideas. The producers of Mr. Ed were so taken by Livingston's rendition that they decided to eschew the traditional path and retain his version. This seemingly unconventional choice bore fruit, as Livingston's rendition not only introduced the show for 6 seasons, but also became inseparable from the quirky charm of Mr. Ed. The songwriter's serendipitous vocals found a surprising home within the equine-focused sitcom, solidifying the tune's place in TV history. And perhaps there's a touch of serendipity in the story itself, mirroring the unlikely friendship between Alan Young, the actor who portrayed Wilbur Post, and the titular Mr. Ed. Their camaraderie stretched beyond the confines of the set, with Young frequently visiting Lester Hilton's ranch, where the equine star resided. This off-screen bond mirrored the on-screen chemistry, where Young's portrayal of Wilbur's exasperation and affectionate rapport with Mr. Ed led to countless laughs. Interestingly, the show's producer, George Burns of McCadden Productions, once mused that Young embodied the type of person a horse would willingly converse with. Mr. Ed, a show that rode on the crest of humor and heart, unknowingly interwove these distinct strands: Livingston's demo-turned anthem, Young and Mr. Ed's off-screen kinship, and Burns' casting intuition. Each element, unexpected on its own, harmonized to craft a television legacy that remains etched in the collective memory. So, when the next nostalgic jingle of Mr. Ed tickles your ears, remember the tale of how happenstance orchestrated an unlikely harmony, a theme sung by a composer who unexpectedly found his voice in a talking horse's world. Mr. Ed, a hidden voice roaring from the shadows in the annals of television history. Few enigmas have captivated audiences quite like the equine virtuoso of wit, Mr. Ed. Born in the syndicated realms of 1961, this series unfurled an unforeseen tale, transitioning from shadows to the network limelight. But it was not just Ed's unerring ability to vocalize that left viewers in awe. It was the timbre of his concealed voice. Concealed, that is, until the secret was corralled by intrepid investigators. Tucked behind the velvety tones of Alan Lane, a former cowboy luminary, Ed's dialogue danced forth. Lane's past rodeo grandeur lent Ed an air of whimsical sagacity, an embodiment of the West's rustic charm merged with urbane banter. Unveiling the vocal conjurer only stoked the fervor of fans, reaffirming the magic that was Mr. Ed. One might ponder, why did this erudite equine choose to share his repartee solely with his stalwart companion, Wilbur? The answer, an elegant calculus of discernment. Wilbur, portrayed by the dexterous Alan Young, was the sole repository of a wisdom worth engaging. Ed's penchant for teat-a-teat sprang from a recognition of intellect, transcending the human-equine divide. Their exchanges became an oasis of perspicuity amidst the dunes of suburban mundanity. The journey from syndication to network embrace was a feat rarely accomplished in that era. Akin to a Broadway understudy suddenly thrust onto center stage, Mr. Ed gracefully navigated this metamorphosis. Once whispered about in hushed syndicated corridors, Ed's oratory exploits found amplification under the aegis of a major network. A testament to Ed's allure and Wilbur's undeniable charm, their tandem surged into households, etching their legacy. The annals of television hold only a handful of tales akin to Mr. Ed's trajectory. A clandestine voice, an unbreakable human-equine kinship, and a transition from shadows to prominence. These elements converged to imprint Mr. Ed upon the collective psyche. The series not only invited viewers into a world where a horse conversed, but into a realm where the extraordinary found its voice, resonating across ages. Alan Young's hair-color dilemma, unveiling the behind-the-scenes maneuver on Mr. Ed in the annals of television history. Mr. Ed, the beloved 1961 TV series featuring a talking horse, has etched itself into the collective memory of audiences. Yet, beyond the quirky premise, a tale of backstage ingenuity emerges, starring none other than Alan Young, the show's lead. In an exclusive interview, Young revealed a hair-raising secret that mirrored the show's black and white charm. While Young's affable demeanor and comedic prowess shone on screen, a subtle challenge surfaced during filming. His natural dark blonde hair, when cast in the monochromatic embrace of black and white film, proved a tad too seamless against the mane of the titular Mr. Ed. This visual conundrum prompted a creative solution that elevated Young from blending into the equine background. Enter the makeup artist's stroke of brilliance. Collaborating with Connie, Hines' hairdresser, Young's locks underwent a transformation, emerging with a darker hue. This strategic shift made Young stand out vividly beside his four-legged co-star. As the show's curtain fell for the final time, Young, no longer bound by small screen aesthetics, gladly allowed his hair to revert to its natural shade, a testament to his commitment to the character and craft. Yet, beyond follicular feats, Mr. Ed brought prosperity to Young in unexpected ways. Reports surfaced that Young not only lent his talents but also had a stake in the show's ownership. As the series galloped into syndication and embarked on network runs, Young's financial realm burgeoned substantially, affirming his savvy investment in the whimsical world of a talking horse. Behind the scenes, an equine diva held its ground with a unique demand. Mr. Ed, the titular talkative steed, demonstrated an uncanny loyalty solely to his trainer, Lester Hilton. This singular rapport posed an interesting challenge, necessitating Hilton's omnipresence on set. His authoritative commands and subtle gestures were the only keys to unlock Mr. Ed's charismatic conversations, a quirk that undoubtedly added to the show's mystique. In retrospect, Mr. Ed emerges not only as a delightful slice of television history, but also as a canvas for ingenious solutions and unforeseen successes. The enigma of Alan Young's hair, the dividends of ownership, and the horse-trainer dynamic collectively illustrate the show's multidimensional charm. So, the next time you find yourself immersed in the whimsical world of Mr. Ed, remember the hidden stories that add color to the black and white facade. After all, isn't television itself a tapestry where even the smallest details contribute to the grand narrative? Mr. Ed's unseen star, Pumpkin, the equine stunt double in the annals of television history. One show stands as a testament to the extraordinary bond between a man and his horse, Mr. Ed. Premiering in 1961, this beloved series followed the misadventures of Wilbur Post and his extraordinary equine companion, a talking horse named Ed. While the show's witty dialogues and comedic moments remain etched in memory, there's one unsung hero who deserves the spotlight: Pumpkin, the remarkable quarter horse who served as Mr. Ed's stunt double. Pumpkin's debut was no small feat, stepping into the hooves of a character that had captured the hearts of viewers nationwide. What set Pumpkin apart from the titular star was a small yet distinctive gold spot nestled within his white blaze. This unique feature became Pumpkin's signature, differentiating him from the charismatic Ed. When duty called for Ed's more daring escapades, Pumpkin fearlessly stepped in. From playful antics to daring stunts, Pumpkin seamlessly slipped into Ed's role, his remarkable resemblance enhanced by a little white makeup carefully applied to conceal that telltale golden spot. This sleight of hand ensured that Pumpkin seamlessly merged into the show's fabric, entertaining audiences without a hitch. But it wasn't just Pumpkin's appearance that made him indispensable. His temperament and training mirrored Ed's, allowing the production to maintain its high standards of performance. Season after season, Pumpkin proved himself an invaluable asset, sharing the workload with his talking counterpart. As the seasons rolled on, the show faced an unforeseen challenge. Larry Keating, the actor portraying Wilbur Post's neighbor Roger Addison, sadly passed away during the third season. The show's producers were tasked with a daunting decision: how to fill the void left by Keating's absence. The torch was passed to Leon Ames, an accomplished actor who stepped into the role of Roger with grace and professionalism. Mr. Ed remains a timeless gem in television history, but it's worth remembering the silent heroes who contributed to its magic. Pumpkin, the unassuming quarter horse with the golden spot, lent his talents to create a seamless illusion that kept audiences charmed and entertained. In the end, the show was more than just a man and his talking horse. It was a collaboration that stretched beyond the screen, reminding us of the extraordinary efforts that go into creating extraordinary television. As we bid adieu to the captivating tales of the 1961 TV series Mr. Ed, let's take a moment to wander down the memory lane with Wilbur and his four-legged, wise-cracking equine companion. Just like the interplay of sun and shadows in an enchanting forest, this show weaved humor and heart into the fabric of our lives. As the curtains fall on the escapades that unfolded in the confines of the barn, it's a reminder that friendships come in all forms, even with a talking horse who preferred a little chit-chat over a bale of hay. The show's magic wasn't just in the novelty of a talking horse, but in the genuine connection that blossomed between two unlikely pals. Now, it's over to you. What was your personal rendezvous with Mr. Ed? Did his quirky one-liners and amusing antics create a cozy corner in your heart? Or did you find yourself laughing out loud at the escapades that often tumbled into chaos? We invite you to share your cherished memories and reflections on this timeless series. Perhaps you recall those lazy afternoons spent watching with family, or maybe you connected with Wilbur's exasperated but fond expressions, echoing your own experiences with quirky companions. Whether it's a heartfelt memory or a thoughtful insight, your stories add to the colorful patchwork of nostalgia that is Mr. Ed. So, gather round and share your thoughts. The keyboard is your stage, the memory is your spotlight. Your tales remind us that, in a world where the extraordinary often blends with the ordinary, there's something truly remarkable about finding a friend in unexpected places. Thank you for walking down memory lane with us. Your time and your stories are treasures we hold dear. Until we meet again for our next storytelling rendezvous, remember, life's adventures are always more vibrant with a touch of whimsy and a dash of hoofbeat humor. Warmly, your fellow nostalgia traveler, P.S. We can't wait to hear your stories. Share your Mr. Ed memories below and keep the spirit of this classic alive. And remember, the stories we share become the tapestry of our shared experiences. Take care and let the reminiscing begin.